int a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. So these two are the initialized value for the a and b. So if I consider int a of 100, so then the time 0 to 99 of the bytes of memory will be allocated for a. This is for the static allocation. If I want to increase this, we have to come back to the program. We have to increase the size like this. We cannot allocate the memory during the runtime when come to the static allocation. That is the major drawback. Say for example, I declared int a equal to 100, but I used only 5 bytes of memory. Means I need to store only 5 records. So what about the rest of the record? Will be waste only, right? Say for example, int a of 10. I stored 0 to 9 record, but I wanted to store some more records. So then that time we cannot allocate the memory. So this is the major drawback of the static allocation. So that's why we move to the dynamic allocation. The dynamic allocation is what? The allocation of memory during runtime is called dynamic allocation. So here we have two different types of dynamic allocation. One is static allocation, another one is the heap allocation. When come to the stack allocation, whenever the procedure or function calls, the activation records get allocated. The activation record will be in the top of the stack. Means the program will be reside in the activation record. What is the meaning of that? Say for example, here we have P1 function, P2 function, P3 function. If you have these three function, means you are supposed to get 4 activation records. Means what? Means what? We have main function, P1 function, P2 function and P3 function. Whenever you get any of the function in the program, you have that much of activation record. Say for example, in the program I have 100 function, 100 activation record should be there. Okay. So whenever the procedure or the function calls, the activation record get allocated. The activation record will be in the top of the stack. So each time whenever you call the function, that activation record will be in the top of the stack. Say for example, basically the main will be there. So initially main will be in the top of the stack. Main will be in the top of the stack. Then you are going to call P1 function. So P1 will be the top of the stack. Please observe carefully. Then P1 will be the top of the stack. Then you are going to call P2. So P2 will be the top of the stack. Then you are going to call P3. P3 will be the top of the stack. Means each time when you call any of the function, that activation record will be the top of the stack. Means the program will be reside in that activation record. This whole block will be reside here. This whole block will be reside here. This whole block will be reside here. Like that the stack will be working. What is the major drawback of the stack allocation? It supports dynamic memory allocation but slower than the static allocation. It supports recursion but reference of non-local variable after activation record cannot be retained. This is the two or the major drawback of the stack allocation. So that's why we move to the heap allocation. If you want to retain this local variable, we are going to use what? The heap. So then what is the main use of heap? Heap will be allocated during the runtime. So basically we are going to use heap to allocate the memory. We have 4 different types of dynamic memory allocation: malloc, calloc, realloc and free function. So if you want to allocate these dynamic memory allocation, we are going to use heap. If you consider Java there basically we are using new and delete operator. So there we are going to use heap. So like this, the dynamic memory and the static memory will be working for the storage organization. So for when come to the next topic, storage allocation of space, we have 2 types of storage allocation of space. One is activation record and another one is activation tree. We'll discuss in the next video.